Hello students. In the previous section, we have tried to get a broad outline of what is paper 1 about. In the paper 2, we will try to focus on what makes this subject similar as well as different from our paper 1. The paper 2 is basically like a specialist subject. In reality, there is nothing called as Indian sociology. There is nothing called as paper 2 sociology. Overall, there is one subject called as sociology. In that, in specific something to Indian society, we have put together like 250 marks and we call that as an Indian sociology. So paper 2 is like a specialist subject. And what is the name of this subject? It is called to be as Indian sociology. Another terms that we get to see that Indian sociology has also been referred to be as Asiatic societies. It is also called to be as subcontinental studies. This is also trying to build a regional perspective of society. But overall, paper 2 is a subject for 250 marks. Same way, paper 1 is also for 250 marks and the subject is called to be as Indian sociology. What is the syllabus? What is the syllabus that we are having? Paper 2, uh, this can broadly be divided into three parts. So let me create a division. This can be broadly categorized into three parts. Let me call that as A, B and C. What is the first part? If you remember, the paper 1, it begins by talking a little bit about history of Europe, whether the subject is science or arts, how to do practically research, the application, the analysis, etc. And the fourth unit in the paper 1 was talking about thinkers. In the same way, the paper 2 actually begins from Indian thinkers itself. So the part A of the paper 2 syllabus, this will be called to be as Introduction to Indian Society. This is called as Introduction to Indian Society. So in this, you are having two parts. What are those two parts? The first part, we will be discussing on some Indian thinkers. Like, we will not be talking about any kind of a Western thinker. The way how Indians have explained the Indian society, we are trying to take a look at it. For example, in our paper 1, the first thinker that we had was Karl Marx. Here, we also have a person who is like an Indian Karl Marx. So here, this Indian Marxist view, it has been brought by a Gujarati sociologist. His name is A.R. Desai. On the other hand, we had the fourth thinker. His name was Talcott Parson, who develops a view called as structural functionalism. Here, the structural functionalist view in Indian sociology has been brought by a person called as M.N. Srinivas. He is a very popular thinker. There are so many famous words that he has coined, such as, have you heard the word Sanskritization, dominant caste, vote bank in politics? All these terms, it has been brought by this Karnataka. He's from Karnataka, Kurg. So he talks about the Mysore villages, Kurg villages, M.N. Srinivas. And who is the father of Indian sociology? This person, he has single-handedly established the sociology in the University of Bombay, and that is Govind Sadashiv Ghure. You can consider him like Indian August Comte. So how Comte starts the sociology in all over the Europe. So in India, it was actually brought by Ghure. So there are three Indian thinkers that we are having. And who are these three thinkers? Ghure, M.N. Srinivas, and Desai. And then the second part, we will be trying to take a look at the colonial history of India. So we will be talking about some colonial past. And what is the colonial past? In the past, there is something called as how we developed the social background of Indian nationalism. So we talk about social background of Indian nationalism. And then we also see that India's modernity is very different from Europe. In Europe, the modernity begins and the traditionality completely comes to an end. But in India, that modernity is existing and traditionality is also coexisting. Both of them together, they are present. A very good example is, look at how a woman dresses. She puts up a jeans, but instead of wearing a t-shirt like in Europe, she would put up a kurti. She would put some dupattas on that kurti. So Indianization is also there, westernization is also there. Yogendra Singh is trying to capture this blend of modernity and Indianization and the common concept of modernization of Indian traditions. So the topic that we are having in the colonial past, second topic is modernization of Indian traditions, and then we talk about protest, and then we talk about some movements in India, and then the last topic that we are having over here is Rajaram Mohan Roy and all those people who have contributed towards Indian Renaissance, social reforms, and how it has brought an impact, limited or a broad impact. We will take a look at it. And then the part B, what we are having is, it is called to be as the social structure of India. How can we divide the Indian society into different segments? So we try to understand the Indian society on the basis of some village studies. So what is the meaning of the word rural India? What is the meaning of the word village? We try to focus on them. And then the most important concept in a village is to make sure we understand the concept of caste system. So caste system is like a backbone. If you don't understand caste system, or what is dvijas, what is non-dvijas, how caste is also a status concept, caste is also a modern concept. So we talk about villages and caste systems, and then a large section of India is staying in the forest. We try to understand them, which is called to be as the tribal communities in India. And then we have studied the villages, we have studied the forest society. We also need to understand the urban societies. And how do we understand the urban societies? By focusing on the concept of social classes. And then we also try to take a look of what is the meaning of kinship systems in India, the family systems. And then we talk about an important type of diversity, and that is the religious communities which are present within India. And here, after talking what are the different kinds of social structure, next we will be moving on to the aspect what are the different kinds of social changes which are present. What is the meaning of the word social changes which is happening in the Indian society? So the first topic that we will be looking over here is the part C. This is considered to be as the dynamic part of the syllabus. Because part B will be considered to be as a static part, part A will be considered as a static part, but the part C is the dynamic part. And here, first of all, we will be discussing what is the vision of India that we are trying to establish. Why did it establish itself like a mixed economy? We will try to understand that. How the changes, how the social changes are coming in the rural India. So we talk about rural and agrarian transformations which are there. How the urban India is changing. We talk about urbanization and industrialization in India. We also talk about the aspect of how political system is changing, the element of polity and state, how it is established. So polity and state, what is the concept of secularism? What is the concept of regionalism which is there? How the different bureaucratic systems or political parties are trying to preserve itself. The most important topic that we are having in our part C is the social movements in India. This is like the core topic that you have to study. Like if you ask me in part A of the syllabus, if you take a look, the most important topic is Indian thinkers. In the part B of the syllabus, if you ask me, I would say the most important topic is caste system. Same way in the C part, the most important topic is social movements. How things change, how do they differ? What is the meaning of agrarian movements? Two types are there. One is called to be as agrarian movements, in that there are peasants and farmer movements. In gender, there are women movements, LGBT movements. In caste, there are Dalit and OBC movements. What are these environmental identity ethnic movements? We will try to take a look at it. And the second last topic that we are having is the aspects of population and its dynamics. What are the different types of political, what are the different type of population phenomena which are being present? What is the meaning of the word demographic dividend? So C is a very dynamic aspect. It overlaps with the general studies. So population dynamics. And the last topic that we are having is challenges to social transformation. You are an IAS officer. You want to bring changes within the society. You want to bring changes within the society. Just a second. So yeah, you want to bring changes within the society, and what are the problems that you are going to face when you are going to fight with those challenges? So in the challenges to social transformation, we talk about developmental problems, caste conflicts, ethnic conflicts, women violence, etc. So paper 1, it can be divided into three parts. What are those three parts? Take a look at it. The three parts: one is the part A, it is talking about the introduction to Indian society. The part B, it talks about the social structure. And the part C, it talks about the social changes. So that's it. Uh, that's it that we have in our uh, you know, that's it we are having in our paper 2. Uh, how are we supposed to connect with current affairs? How are we supposed to read a particular topic so that we can eliminate, we can select whether it is important for our current affairs? In the next video, I will be talking to you about how can we do that evaluation of a particular current affairs topic, that it is important for our UPSC understanding. So I have covered a detailed outlook of what our syllabus is all about in paper 1 and in paper 2. I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day.